Okay, so as I was saying, chapter 1 is kind of an overview chapter, what we're going to be learning throughout the book, those sorts of things. Okay, it does seem like it's got a lot of stuff. The big focus, of course, interdisciplinary units. How to bring in other things from every course and kind of put it together. Which is really, I mean, if you think about it, the best way to learn. To teach math in isolation, and then writing in isolation, and then science by itself. So that doesn't make any sense to me, right? Everything should be integrated. And this is what I really like for science and social studies especially. You know, a lot of these schools that we're in now, we're so hung up on reading, writing, and math that there is no science and social studies. So if you can work something in from science and social studies and make a writing project out of it, or make a reading project out of it, or make a math assignment from something of the sciences or from social studies, that's how you can incorporate some of those courses that you might not normally incorporate. Okay, so I thought that was really great. Helping reach diverse learners. Okay? We need to know our learning styles for this to work. You know, we need to know who's kinesthetic, who's using, you know, the different audio, visual, how everybody learns. We don't want to do the same thing every day. You know, yeah, some people are visual, but that doesn't mean we want to use just that. Some days you are going to have lecture. You know, some days you are going to have direct instruction, or maybe you're just covering vocabulary. But again, try to mix it up. Keeping modality in mind, there again, same kind of thing. You know, how are the kids learning, and is it working? How can I modify what I'm doing to how they learn? I really like the point that they said management is going to be more crucial during active learning. If you think about the term even active learning, that kind of implies that it's going to be a little rowdier, it's going to be a little more boisterous, there's going to be, you want enthusiasm, right? You don't want to squash that. So while active learning is going on, you got to keep in mind, okay, it might be a little noisy in here, it might be a little, you know, traffic, but as long as we go over safety and we go over expectations and everyone's talking about what they're supposed to be talking about, it's not really a problem to have that energy going on. I did like how they said block scheduling is really kind of essential to be able to do this. I can tell you when I was at O'Brien, the class periods were 50 minutes. So by the time you got the kids in and out, that time accounted for, you're down to about 45 minutes. Teaching a science lesson in 45 minutes is a really tough task. So hopefully, a lot of these schools, hopefully you get placed in a school that has block scheduling. It makes things a lot easier when you've got an hour and a half. Then you can really do, you know, more things, more group work, more individual learning, more discovery learning, instead of just dumping. Now, if you have something like I had, 45 minutes, you've still got to try to do this as best you can. But it does make things a little more difficult. And I like that the book acknowledged that. Using technology whenever possible, came across that in here. I think that's a great idea. Kids are intrinsically drawn to technology. They love gadgets, you know. Think about us and our cell phones and our video cameras, you know, we're computers, our laptops. We all just love technology. The more you can bring that in, the better it is. You know, especially like I said on my folder with science, I think it's one of the best things you can do. The more you can show them neat little technology things. I love being able to look through a microscope and project it on the wall. I don't know why, but that is one of my absolute favorite uses of technology in the classroom. And then also the video clips. You know, where else you can see an ibex around here, or a lionfish, or a platypus, you know? But hey, YouTube clip, pull it right up, and check out what this guy can do, you know? Now we can see what we can't go to Australia and see, we can bring it right to us. So I really do like the technology, and a lot more projectors in rooms, I think, is needed. I heard somebody once say, we should have screens right in the desk in here. And I thought, that's a fantastic idea. I really,
right in.
Exactly, something like that. Put it right in the desk. It's got the information right there. They can type, right? Teacher's got one that can see what everybody's up to. I think it's a great idea. Moving on. I did like, they made a point about involving the community, involving the parents. you know, letting people know what you're up to, what you're studying. Also, that's going to bring in, you know, the older generations. How many kids nowadays really have contact with the older generation? I know for myself, I wouldn't be the same person if I hadn't spent so much time with my grandparents as I did. You know, they really made me the person who I am today. And a lot of kids, I think, aren't getting that. So if we can bring in the community members, good ideas like a garden, you know, a little community garden for the school, you can work that into all sorts of areas. You know, it's science, it's nutrition, but you can also write about it. You know, you could do math with gardening problems, I guess. You know, square area, fencing, how many seeds are we going to need to cover this many homes, that sort of thing. Right? And then, the last thing that I put on here was the organization and planning skills and modeling that. Okay, you really need to, with these bigger lessons and bringing more stuff in, you really need to be able to model the organization and the planning so that they're used to how things work and getting things going and coming up with their own plan so that they can tackle these problems on their own. You know, if you've shown, okay, come up with a plan and then follow through with it, they're more likely to be able to do that on their own. Like I said, in the later half of the year, get your skills down in the beginning, and in the later half of the year, you can use those skills, you know, on their own. That's about all I had for that. Are we opening the questions now? Is that questions from chapter 1?